previously we have discussed about the embryology of the respiratory system. In my today's lecture, we will discuss about the anatomy of the respiratory system. We will discuss that how many organs which are involved in the respiratory system, and we will briefly discuss the fundamental organ of the respiratory system, which is the lungs. We will briefly discuss the anatomy of the lungs, and we will also discuss that lungs contain how many borders, how many fissures, what is the cuff of the lungs, okay, and we will also discuss the outer covering of the lungs, which is the pleura. So first of all, we will discuss that how many organs which are involved in the respiratory system. So basically there are the 6 organs which are involved in the respiratory system. First of all, nose. Nose play an important role in the humidity and maintain the temperature of the air coming into the respiratory system and filter the dust particles in the air. Okay, and after that the pharynx. Pharynx is the passageway, and the common name of the pharynx I can say is a throat. Okay, the common name of the pharynx is what? Throat. You can say the pharynx is a throat, and throat provide a passageway for both for respiratory system and for the digestive system. Okay, for the respiratory system mean air from the nose move into the trachea, and for the digestive system mean for the food and water through the oral cavity into the esophagus. Okay, and larynx. Larynx play an important role because it play an important role in the prevention of the aspirating food, because from the oral cavity we ingest the food particles, and this pharynx prevents those food particles from the entering into the trachea. Okay, because larynx contain epiglottis, which prevents the entry of the food particle into the trachea. Okay, and also the larynx play an important role in the phonation. What is phonation? Phonation is the production of voice. Okay, because it contains the epiglottis, and which is responsible for the production of the voice. Okay, and trachea. Trachea is a stiff flexible tube which connects the larynx to the bronchi. Okay, and the bronchi is a bronchi distribute the air throughout the lungs. These are the bronchi, and these bronchi distribute the air throughout the lungs. Previously in my previous lecture, in which we have discussed the embryology of the respiratory system, in that lecture I have briefly discussed what is the primary bronchus, what is the secondary bronchus, what is the tertiary bronchus. Okay, so lungs, the main organ of the respiratory system, the fundamental organ of the respiratory system. So we will discuss basically the anatomy of the lungs. Before we will discuss the anatomy of the lungs, we will briefly discuss its outer covering, mean pleura. Okay, so what is pleura? Pleura is a membrane which cover the lungs, the both lungs. Okay, and pleural membrane contain 2 layers, visceral layer and palatal layer. Visceral layer lines the lungs, mean the layer. So here I can draw. So this is the visceral layer, mean the layer which lines the lungs is known as visceral layer, and the outer layer this is the outer layer which is known as palatal layer, and this layer lines the thoracic wall, diaphragm and lateral aspect of the mediastinum. Okay, this layer lines means the ribs, and the intercostal cartilage mean the space between the ribs and make the anterior line of the mediastinum. Okay, and the lateral aspect of the mediastinum. Okay, this is the mediastinum. Mediastinum is a line which connect the sternum to the vertebral column. Okay, this line is known as mediastinum. So this parietal layer of the pleura form the lateral aspect of the mediastinum. Okay, and the space between the visceral pleura and the parietal pleura is known as pleural cavity. What is pleural cavity? This is the pleural cavity. The space between the visceral pleura and the parietal pleura is known as parietal cavity. And parietal cavity play an important role because it provides lubrication. Due to which factor? Because it contains the serous fluid, and serous fluid provide the movement of the lungs which within the minimum friction. Okay, when this pleural cavity contains the serous fluid, so due to this fluid the lungs can expand and contract during expiration and inspiration within the minimum friction. Okay, so potential space, pleural cavity is a potential space between the parietal layer and the visceral layer contain the serous fluid, so lungs can move within the minimal friction. Okay, within the minimal friction. Now, what is the cuff of pleura? Cuff of pleura is formed. So look here. This is the cuff of pleura. This line is the cuff of pleura. Okay, so this cuff of pleura formed where two layers become continuous with one another that surround the structure, leaving and entering the hilum, and this cuff hangs down as loose fold called the pulmonary ligament. Okay, so what is the cuff of pleura? This is the cuff of pleura. This cuff of pleura continues the two layers, meaning the upper parietal layer and the lower parietal layer, the continuation of the upper parietal layer and the lower parietal layer, and it covers the hilum region of the lungs from where the bronchi and the pulmonary vessels enter and exit the lungs. Okay, and this cuff hangs down as a loose fold. This fold is known as what? This fold is known as pulmonary ligament, and this ligament play an important role in the flexibility, mean for the movement of the pulmonary vessels during expiration and inspiration. Okay, you are getting me? Again, what is the cuff of pleura? Cuff of pleura is a space which continues the two layers, between the upper layer and the lower layer, and covers the hilum from which the pulmonary vessels are entering and exit from the lungs. Okay. So for the purpose of description, parietal layer is divided according to the region wise. So parietal layer is divided into the cervical pleura. Cervical pleura is a dome-shaped pleura which cover the cervical extension of the pleural cavity. Okay. And costal pleura. Costal pleura covers the ribs, costal cartilage, intercostal cartilage, and the back of the sternum. And the next one is the diaphragmatic pleura. This is the diaphragmatic pleura, which covers the thoracic surface of the diaphragm. This is the thoracic surface of the diaphragm. And the mediastinal pleura. Mediastinal pleura form and cover the lateral aspect of the mediastinum. This is the mediastinum, and mediastinal pleura form the lateral aspect, mean the lateral boundary of the mediastinum. Okay, and the next one is the pleural recesses. What are the pleural recesses? Pleural recesses are an area of space in which adjacent surface of parietal pleura come into contact. Okay, pleural recesses is a space in which the adjacent surface of the parietal layer. Look here, this is the parietal layer. This is the parietal layer. Okay, and the adjacent surface of the parietal layer come into contact. This area is known as pleural recesses. Okay, an area of space in which adjacent surface of parietal pleura come into contact. Adjacent surface come into contact, is known as pleural recesses. So there are the following two types of pleural recesses. Number one is costodiaphragmatic pleural recesses and number two is costomediastinal pleural recesses. Costodiaphragmatic recesses is the costo and something here. So costodiaphragmatic recesses is an area where the costal and diaphragmatic pleura come into contact with each other. Okay, and the costomediastinal is an area where costodiaphragmatic recesses is an area where this is the costodiaphragmatic recess where the costal and diaphragmatic pleura come into contact with each other. Okay, and the costomediastinal is an area where the costal and mediastinal pleura come into contact with each other. Okay, so these are the two recesses in the lungs, and these recesses play an important role during the expiration and inspiration. Mean they provide an extra surface area when the lungs are filled with the air. Then this area is closed and they provide maximum space for the lungs to expand. Okay, so these recesses play an important role during inspiration and expiration.